When we think about the past, we usually measure it in human lifetimes. To us, the term ancient history feels like an unimaginably deep ocean of time. The Great Pyramids of Giza are our go-to symbol for the distant past. They feel like they've stood there forever. We contrast those stone monuments with the today of modern technology, like when humans first landed on the moon. But on the scale of the Earth's 4.6 billion year life, the pyramids and the moon landing happened at essentially the same time. If the Earth's history were a book, those two events would both be part of the very last word on the very last page. To understand that scale, we have to shrink the planet's entire history down into a single day. On this clock, every hour represents nearly 200 million years. The clock starts at exactly midnight. This is a world of rock melting heat, where the atmosphere is nothing but a thin, toxic haze of hydrogen and helium. Because the Earth was so hot and fluid, its materials began to sort themselves by weight. Heavy metals like iron sank toward the center, while lighter rocks floated to the top. This sorting created the planet's layered structure. By moving the heavy metal to the core and the lighter rock to the surface, the Earth developed a stable, solid crust, a cool outer shell that could eventually hold on to oceans and support the weight of living things. By 4 a.m., the planet cooled enough for water vapor to turn liquid. This triggers centuries of rain that falls onto the volcanic landscape. That water collected in the deep, low spots of the crust, slowly filling the basins to create our first oceans. Tick forward to 5 a.m. Deep in those waters, we see the very first signs of life, tiny, single-celled bacteria. It's a slow start. It took 4 full hours on our clock, about 800 million years, just to get from a hot rock to the first microscopic spark of life. Fast forward past noon. For most of this day, life remains invisible to the naked eye. It stays hidden in the oceans, staying simple and small. At 1 p.m., something shifts. Tiny organisms use sunlight for energy, releasing oxygen. These bubbles saturate the water and leak into the sky. This era takes up a huge portion of our day. Nearly 20 hours of the clock are dedicated to this slow buildup. This wait was necessary because complex animals require a lot of energy to move and grow, and oxygen is the high-performance fuel that allows cells to produce that energy. Without those 20 hours of preparation, the atmosphere wouldn't have enough fuel to support anything bigger than a microbe. At almost 9 p.m., life finally breaks out of the water. This is when the first plants and animals begin to establish themselves on dry land. From here, the variety of life moves fast. First come the land plants, then fish, then amphibians, and eventually the first reptiles. By 10:50 p.m., we enter the age of the dinosaurs. These creatures, some as long as city buses, rule Earth for nearly a full hour. At 11:39 p.m., an asteroid 10 kilometers wide hits the planet. The impact causes a global reset, ending the reign of the dinosaurs instantly. That extinction was the opening the survivors needed. With the giant reptiles gone, small mammals could finally move into the light and begin to evolve into the variety of animals we see today. This map shows the Earth as it looks at 11:50 p.m. The massive plates that make up the crust have finally drifted into the shapes of the continents we recognize. Those plates are still in motion today. The Indian plate is currently pushing north, causing the peaks of the Himalayas to keep rising higher every year. At 11:58 p.m., we see the arrival of early human ancestors. The Earth's childhood is almost over. It's worth remembering that for 23 hours and 58 minutes, this planet functioned, changed, and thrived without a single human being around to see it. Modern humans finally appear at 11:59 and 58 seconds. Our entire species has existed for only the final 2 seconds of the day. Every discovery made, every war fought, and every life ever recorded fits inside that tiny 2-second sliver of time. This scale suggests that we aren't the primary owners of the Earth, but rather its newest and most temporary guests. As the clock ticks past midnight, the first 2 seconds of our history are over, and a brand new geological day is just beginning.